Happy fall, y'all. This is Ann at What's Up Family Home, and today I have a collab for you. And this one is hosted by Justina at Justina's Country Kitchen. And I am making a pumpkin dessert today. This is going to be all about fall foods. And I just had to make a pumpkin dessert because you know, pumpkin, pecans, all that stuff. Cinnamon is all about fall, so I am here for it. So I'm going to show you all the ingredients that's in this cake. The recipe calls for eggs. I've got 2 eggs here. They're duck eggs, so they're bigger than normal, so I'm just using 2 instead of 3 eggs as the recipe calls for. It calls for pumpkin spice, but I'm not a big pumpkin spice. I'm using cinnamon. And it calls for sugar, a can of pumpkin, and a can of evaporated milk. It also calls for yellow cake mix, but white is all I have. And it calls for walnuts, but I have pecans. And it calls for 3/4 of a cup of melted butter. I've already got my sugar and my cinnamon and my pumpkin in the bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and add the 2 eggs. And now I'll add in the can of evaporated milk. Okay, then I'm just going to stir everything together until it's well combined. Okay, I've got my butter. And I'm just going to drizzle that over the top. And now I'm going to add my pecans. But you could use walnuts. That's what the recipe calls for. But I love my pecans, or pecans as some people say. That just screams fall. Pumpkin and pecans are just, they just go together during the fall. And I'm going to go ahead and clean up the cake mix. I don't want that to stick to my pan and have a whole lot more to clean up than I already have. So, all right, I'm going to stick this in a 350-degree oven for an hour. Y'all, I had to leave my cake. I just had to take it out of the oven and leave because they were fixing my driveway. And I took it out and I noticed that there is some of the cake mix dried on here. So I would use less cake mix. I would only use a half, and I would use way more butter. But I'm going to cut off a piece and heat it up and try it and put some ice cream on top. It's not the prettiest, but I know it'll be delicious. Y'all, this was not a looker for sure, but it was so good. Even heated up in the microwave, we both loved it. I'll definitely make this again, and it's the perfect fall dessert, I'm telling you. And it was so easy. Just give it more butter and less cake mix. I would use half of the cake mix that it used, but this was so good. And I want to thank Justina from Justina's Country Kitchen. I'll have her channel linked down below, as well as the playlist or the videos in the playlist. So happy fall, y'all.